Welcome to our channel, where you don't just learn English, you learn how to think, how to grow, and how to become powerful in life. What you are about to hear is not just a story. It is a journey into silence, discipline, focus, and inner strength. In a world full of noise, distraction, and chaos, this 3-chapter story will guide you inward, toward the warrior inside you, the version of you that is calm, wise, unshakable, and unstoppable. Each chapter in this series is designed to awaken something deeper, to help you master the art of silence, transform your pain into power, and walk through life with clarity and control. This is more than motivation. This is transformation. This is your call to rise, not with noise, but with quiet strength. So sit back, listen closely, reflect deeply, because by the end of this story, you won't just be inspired, you'll be changed. Welcome to the beginning of a journey that could change the way you live, think, and grow. In today's fast-moving world, most people lose themselves in distractions. Notifications buzz, messages pop, news flashes. Everyone wants your attention. And the more distracted you are, the less power you have. That's not a coincidence. It's design. Because a distracted mind is a controlled mind. And a controlled mind is a mind that never truly creates, never truly builds, never truly lives. The truth is, we live in a war for our attention. And most people are losing that war without even realizing it. Every swipe, every scroll, every meaningless click, it pulls you away from the life you want. You think you're choosing, but in reality, your choices are being shaped. You say you'll read for 10 minutes, then find yourself on social media for an hour. You sit down to start something important, but end up responding to texts. And then you wonder, where did the time go? That's how average lives are built, not through bad luck or lack of skill, but through broken focus. Because distraction is not just the enemy of productivity. It's the silent killer of potential. And this is why only a few people rise. Not because they have more talent, but because they've learned one skill most ignore: how to focus in a distracted world. Let me tell you about a boy named Ayan. Ayan didn't have money. He didn't have connections. He wasn't born into success, but he had something rare. Every morning, before the world woke up, he wrote his goals. He didn't check his phone. He didn't open social media. He created a sacred time for himself, a time where only one thing mattered: his dream. While his friends partied, he studied. While they scrolled, he designed. While they slept, he worked. They laughed. They said he was too serious, missing out on life. But he kept going. He knew something they didn't. He knew that every second you give to distractions is a second taken from your future. 3 years later, when his business exploded, those same friends asked him how he did it. He didn't boast. He simply said, "I was working when you were talking." That's the power of focus. It turns quiet effort into loud success. It turns invisible habits into visible achievements. It turns nobodies into legends. But most people never see it. Because we live in a world that worships noise. Everyone is trying to be seen, to be heard, to be liked. But what they don't realize is that success doesn't come from noise. It comes from silence. It comes from the deep work done behind closed doors, the long nights, the early mornings, the quiet sacrifices that no one claps for. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's about learning to say no to the 100 things that don't serve you, so you can say yes to the few that do. It's about understanding that every choice is a trade. When you say yes to watching one more video, you're saying no to building your dream. When you say yes to one more distraction, you're saying no to your purpose. You might be wondering how to do this, how to fight back against a world that's constantly pulling you in every direction. The answer isn't to work harder, it's to work deeper, to create systems that protect your time, to wake up with intention, to cut the noise, to build your own rhythm. Start your day before the world starts pulling at you. Don't let your phone be the first thing you touch. Give your mind time to breathe. Write down 3 things that matter today. Just 3. Then build your day around those. Not around replies, not around posts, around results. Silence your phone when you work. Give yourself 90 minutes of uninterrupted effort. Then rest. Then repeat. Create a space that tells your brain, here, we win. Clean your desk. Block the noise. Make it sacred. And most of all, learn to say no. Because no is the word that protects your dream. No to gossip. No to trends. No to distractions dressed as opportunities. No to anything that doesn't move you closer to who you want to become. It won't be easy. Your mind will resist. It will crave the easy path. It will beg for comfort. But comfort is not your friend. Comfort is what keeps people stuck. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Focus is not natural. It's trained. But every day you train it, you get stronger. You begin to feel the shift. You start finishing what you start. You stop wasting your days. You stop being tired all the time. Because now, your energy is not scattered. It's sharp. It's clear. It's powerful. And here's the beautiful part. As you begin to focus, you don't just get more done. You become more. You become calmer, more confident, more clear. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, think differently. Because now, you're not running around trying to please everyone. You're building something real, something solid, something that can't be shaken by noise. People will notice. They'll ask you how you changed. They'll want your secret. You won't need to explain. Because your focus will speak louder than words. Your results will speak. Your discipline will speak. Your energy will speak. That's what happens when you take back your attention. You take back your power. Imagine this. Imagine waking up every day with direction. No more confusion. No more wasted hours. Just clarity. Just progress. Just quiet, powerful momentum. While others are stuck in the loop of distraction, you're moving forward. While they are reacting, you are creating. While they are chasing validation, you are building a legacy. And it all starts with one decision. The decision to take your time seriously. To treat your attention like gold. Because that's what it is. Time and focus. These are the most valuable things you have. Everything else comes later. Money, fame, success. They follow attention. But if your attention is weak, nothing else matters. Look around. The world is full of unfinished dreams, half-written books, forgotten goals, failed plans. Not because people didn't try, but because they didn't focus long enough. You don't have to be like them. You can choose differently. You can choose to become the kind of person who finishes, who builds, who leads, who inspires, not with noise, but with action. You can be the person who disappears for a while and returns with something great. You can be the quiet one, the steady one, the strong one, the one who doesn't need to shout, because their results speak louder than any voice. Focus is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of the world. It frees you from the opinions of others. It frees you from your own fear. When you focus, you don't just move faster, you move with purpose, and that purpose gives your life meaning. So pause for a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, where is my focus going today? Am I building something, or am I just reacting? You already have everything you need inside you. You just need to clear the noise. You need to claim your time. You need to train your attention like a muscle. And when you do, everything changes. You don't just get things done, you become unshakable. There comes a time in every person's life when they pause and ask themselves a question no one else can answer. Who am I becoming? It doesn't come when everything is going well. It comes in silence. It comes in pain. It comes when the lights are off, when no one is watching, when the applause stops. It comes when you're alone. And in that moment, something begins. Something powerful. Something real. Growth. But here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. Growth doesn't begin when life is easy. It begins when you're broken. It begins when you've lost, when you've failed, when you've been rejected, abandoned, laughed at, doubted. It begins when the people you trusted walk away. It begins when the world turns silent, and all that's left is you and your reflection. That's when the transformation starts. Not everyone makes it through that moment. Some run from it. Some numb it. They distract themselves, blame others, or pretend they're fine. But a rare few, they face it. They look at the pain in the eye and ask, "What are you here to teach me?" And when they do, the world inside them begins to shift. Let me tell you a story. A young woman named Tara grew up full of dreams. She wanted to be a writer. Every night, she wrote in her notebook, ideas, stories, emotions. But no one believed in her. Her teachers told her she wasn't smart enough. Her family told her writing was a waste of time. Still, she wrote, quietly, passionately. Until one day, after years of rejection, she finally got her big chance. A publisher noticed her blog and offered her a book deal. She was overjoyed. She wrote for 6 months straight, poured her heart into every page. When the book was released, she waited and waited. But nothing happened. Sales were low. Reviews were mixed. People mocked her on social media. Her dream, the one she held so close, was now in pieces. She disappeared. She stopped writing. She stopped hoping. She fell into silence. Not the peaceful kind, the painful kind. The kind where every thought screams, "You failed." The kind where every voice inside says, "You're not enough." For weeks, she didn't leave her room. No phone, no friends. Just her and the storm inside. But then something unexpected happened. The silence began to speak. At first, it whispered. Then it grew louder. And it didn't say, "You're a failure." It said, "You were brave." It didn't say, "Give up." It said, "Now you know how strong you really are." In that silence, Tara met herself for the first time. Not the version others expected. Not the version she tried to prove. But the real her. The one who had dreams, pain, passion, and power. The one who fell, but still breathed. The one who failed, but still mattered. She began to write again. Not for fame, not for approval. For herself, for her healing, for her soul. And slowly, something shifted. Her words got deeper. Her voice got clearer. Her spirit got stronger. People began to find her new work. This time, not because it was trending, but because it was true. Years later, Tara became one of the most respected voices in her field. But ask her where it all changed, and she'll tell you. It wasn't in the success. It was in the silence. The dark moment where she thought everything was over, and instead, something greater began. That's the kind of growth we're talking about. The kind that doesn't happen on stage. The kind that happens in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. And it doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the fire. We all carry wounds. Some are visible, most are not. Childhood fears, broken friendships, lost love, betrayals, failures, doubts, and we think hiding them will keep us strong, but hiding pain doesn't heal it. Ignoring pain doesn't erase it. Growth begins when you stop running from your past and start listening to what it's trying to teach you. Pain is a messenger, a mirror, a mentor. It shows you where you need to grow. It pushes you to change. It reveals the parts of you that are still fragile, still hurting, still needing attention. And when you finally sit with it, not fight it, not escape it, but sit with it, you begin to understand yourself on a whole new level. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who walk with quiet confidence, the ones who don't need to prove anything, the ones who carry peace, even in chaos. Do you think they became that way by accident? They've been through storms. They've cried in silence. They've doubted themselves, but they faced it. They did the inner work. They healed what others ignored. They didn't just grow, they transformed. And the beautiful part is, you can too. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing. Willing to feel. Willing to reflect. Willing to change. You don't need to know all the answers. You just need to stop hiding from the questions. Spend time alone, not on your phone, not in noise, but in real solitude. Sit in a room by yourself. No distractions, no masks, no pretending. Just you and your thoughts. At first, it's uncomfortable. Your mind will race. Your past will knock. Your doubts will rise. But keep sitting. Breathe. Don't judge what comes up. Just listen. Let the pain speak. Let the dreams whisper. Let the truth rise. Because underneath all the noise, there's a voice waiting to be heard. Yours. It's the voice that says, you are more than what happened to you. You are more than your failures, more than your fears, more than your mistakes. You are a soul in progress, a masterpiece in motion, a warrior in training. The world will tell you to move fast, to keep going, to push through. But sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is stop. Stop and feel. Stop and reflect. Stop and grow. Growth doesn't mean changing everything overnight. It means taking small steps, choosing better habits, letting go of what hurts, forgiving yourself, saying no to what drains you, saying yes to what feeds you. It means protecting your energy like a treasure. Because it is. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And becoming is messy. It's painful. It's lonely. But it's also beautiful. Because in that process, you discover a strength you didn't know you had, a light you thought was lost, a purpose you had buried. Every scar you carry is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of survival. Every lesson you've learned is a brick in your foundation. Every tear you've shed watered the seed of who you are meant to be. So don't run from your pain. Don't rush your healing. Don't compare your journey. You are growing in ways others can't see. And one day, when the time is right, the world will see the results. They'll call it success. But you'll know it was growth. And growth, that's the most powerful success of all. There is a strength that doesn't shout, a power that doesn't need attention, a presence that doesn't need to explain itself. It walks silently, but when it enters a room, everyone feels it. It is not found in muscles or in loud words. It lives in calm eyes, steady steps, and a heart that has been through fire but still beats with purpose. That strength is the warrior within. We all have it, but most of us have forgotten it, buried it beneath noise, beneath expectations, beneath fear, beneath the false belief that to be powerful, we must be loud, that to be heard, we must shout, that to lead, we must dominate. But the greatest warriors in history didn't waste their energy on proving themselves. They didn't fight every battle. They chose which battles mattered. They protected their focus. They mastered their emotions. They trained their minds to be still even in storms. Let me tell you about someone you know. Not a celebrity. Not a billionaire. A man named Armin. He grew up in a rough neighborhood, surrounded by violence and struggle. At age 12, he lost his father. At 14, he dropped out of school to support his family. By 16, he was already working 2 jobs. People said he was just another poor kid with no future. But Armin had something they couldn't see: a fire. He didn't talk about it. He didn't tell anyone. But every day, after work, he trained. Not just his body, his mind. He read books in silence. He wrote in a journal. He studied people. He controlled his emotions. He watched how others reacted, and he learned to respond with calm. While others were caught in the chaos of life, he was building a fortress inside, one that no insult, no loss, no failure could shake. He didn't need revenge. He needed results. And 10 years later, that silent fire built him into a leader. Not one who demanded respect, but one who earned it. He started a community center in the same neighborhood where he was told he'd never make it. He trained other boys to control their emotions, to find discipline, to rise through silence, not violence. He didn't become rich, he became respected. Not for what he said, but for how he lived. That's what it means to awaken the warrior within. The world tells us that power is about domination, but real power is control. Control over yourself. It's walking away when others provoke you. It's staying calm when others panic. It's being centered when the world is spinning. Every day, life throws something at you. A rude person, a delay, a disappointment, a betrayal, a failure. And in those moments, you have a choice. React like everyone else, or respond like a warrior. The warrior doesn't react out of ego. The warrior breathes. The warrior observes. The warrior decides with clarity. And then, when the time is right, they act. Not to prove, but to protect. Not to please, but to honor their values. To live like a warrior, you must live with intention. You don't need a sword or a shield. You need a clear mind. You need a strong heart. You need to know who you are, what you stand for, and what you refuse to become. Think about this. A warrior doesn't fight every fight. They pick their battles. They conserve energy. They are not afraid to be misunderstood. They don't explain every decision. They don't ask for validation. Their life is their statement. Their actions are their argument. Their presence is their proof. You can be that kind of person. You can train your mind like a muscle. You can build habits that sharpen you. You can wake up earlier, breathe deeper, speak less, listen more, move with clarity, protect your peace. Say no when you must. Say yes when it's aligned. The warrior within is not someone else. It's not a fantasy. It's you, underneath the doubt, beneath the noise, behind the fear. It's the part of you that knows what you are capable of, even when the world forgets. You've already felt it. In the moments you stood up for yourself. In the moments you stayed calm in chaos. In the moments you pushed through pain. In the moments you chose growth over comfort. That was the warrior in you. And now it's time to live from that space, not just visit it. Start by protecting your energy. Stop giving it to everything and everyone. Not everyone deserves your reaction. Not everything needs your comment. Every time you stay silent when provoked, you grow. Every time you walk away from drama, you strengthen. Every time you choose peace over pride, you win. That is the way of the quiet warrior. Let me tell you something powerful. One day, your silence will be your story. People will ask, "How did you stay so calm?" And you won't have to answer. Your life will show them. Your peace will tell them. Your growth will explain it. And maybe they won't understand your silence. Maybe they'll think you're weak, too quiet, too different. Let them, because the warrior doesn't live for approval. The warrior lives for alignment. The warrior knows that silence is not weakness. Silence is readiness. Even in nature, the strongest animals move in silence. The lion doesn't roar before it attacks. The eagle doesn't scream before it dives. They move with precision, with presence. That's what power looks like. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to fight to prove you're strong. You just need to live with purpose. Show up for yourself. Again and again. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Train, reflect, grow, and protect your inner world like it's sacred. Because it is. And when life throws storms your way, don't panic. Don't run. Stand still. Breathe. Remember who you are. Let the world move around you. Let the chaos scream. You stay still. You stay silent. You stay powerful. That is strength. That is peace. That is victory. At the end of the day, when all the noise is gone, when all the distractions fade, what's left is who you've become. Not what you have, not what others think, but who you are. And if you've lived with intention, if you've trained your focus, grown through silence, and walked with purpose, then no matter what life throws at you, you'll face it not with fear, but with fire. Because the warrior within is not a fantasy. It's your true self. It's the version of you that no longer needs noise, attention, or reaction. It's the version of you that lives by truth, not trends, that chooses peace, not pride, that grows in silence and leads by example. So walk quietly, live intentionally. Let your calm be your strength. Let your silence be your sword. Let your growth speak for itself. You don't need to be louder. You just need to be wiser. You don't need to be faster. You just need to be focused. And you don't need to be seen by everyone. You just need to become someone you're proud of. Because in the end, the most powerful force in this world is not noise. It's a mind that cannot be shaken, a soul that cannot be broken, a warrior who moves in silence and wins in peace. And now, as this story comes to an end, take a deep breath, not just to finish reading, but to begin living. You've walked through the noise. You've seen the damage that distraction causes. You've witnessed the quiet power of focus. You've felt the deep transformation that only comes in silence. And you've awakened something within you, a presence, a fire, a truth that has always been there, waiting. This wasn't just a story. This was a mirror, a reminder, a wake-up call. Because the life you want to live, it's already within your reach. But it won't come through noise. It won't come through endless talking, scrolling, reacting. It will come through discipline, through clarity, through silence, through the daily choice to be better, stronger, calmer, even when no one is watching. You don't need the world to clap for you. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need to shout your way to success. You just need to live in alignment with who you are becoming. And that version of you, the one who protects their time, guards their energy, focuses deeply, grows silently, and walks with quiet power. That version of you is unstoppable. So, from this day forward, let your focus guide your steps. Let your silence deepen your strength. Let your growth speak louder than your words. Let your calm be your confidence. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are building. You are becoming. And you are enough. Remember, the strongest warriors do not always roar. Sometimes they rise with no sound at all. So rise, quietly, powerfully, unshakably, and let the world feel your presence, even in your silence. If this story touched your heart, if it helped you feel something powerful inside, then carry its message with you. In a world that's always rushing, shouting, competing, you now know a different path. A path of stillness. A path of growth. A path of quiet mastery. From now on, let your life speak louder than your words. Let your silence speak volumes. Let your success echo through every room you enter. Not because you shouted, but because you became powerful in peace. And if you want more stories like this, stories that make you wiser, stronger, and fluent in real-life English, then don't forget to subscribe. This is not just a channel. This is a movement. This is a family of learners, leaders, and quiet warriors. Until next time, stay focused, stay grounded, and stay silent. Because your silence is your strength.